Dr. Swagel, when the Budget Committee wants to know how much a bill costs or saves, it's supposed to ask the Congressional Budget Committee in order to move the bill forward. Has CBO analyzed the effects of the White House on Social Security finances?
No, Senator, we have not.
Also for you, Dr. Swagel, when it comes to Social Security, the only way to determine if someone is paying their fair share is to look at both the taxes they pay and the benefits they receive in return. How much in benefits are the highest earning workers scheduled to receive for every dollar in taxes they pay? And contrary-wise, how does that compare to lower earners?
Okay, no, thank you. And we've analyzed that. So I'll talk about that for the different household incomes. So for the lowest quintile, so the lowest 20%, people with the lowest incomes over their lifetime have about a 2.5 to 1 ratio of their lifetime benefits against their lifetime taxes. So 2.5 times their benefits to taxes. The middle 20%, that ratio is about 1.5 to 1. The people with the top 20% of lifetime incomes, it's about 1 to 1, which means that's on average for the top 20%. Someone at the very top, the top 1%, like we saw in one of the charts, they would have a ratio of less than 1. So their lifetime benefits would be less than their lifetime contributions.
Dr. Biggs, some Democrat proposals would give extra benefits to wealthy people who don't use them or need them, and then ask future workers to pay up to pick up that tab. Do you think that these proposals are well targeted or fair to younger generations?
When we think about fairness, we want to think not just within generations, but across generations. Proposals that would increase benefits for current retirees, in particular for middle and higher income retirees, would grant benefits to retirees that they had not paid for themselves over the course of their careers. In other words, it would give benefits they had not earned. Of course, the bill has to be paid, which means that taxes on younger generations have to be higher to finance that. So generationally, that is inequitable, in particular because younger generations get a poorer deal from Social Security than older workers in the first place.
Okay. And Dr. Swagel, changes affecting Social Security can have unintended consequences for the rest of the federal budget. How would higher payroll taxes or new investment taxes dedicated to Social Security Trust Fund impact on budget revenues?
Oh, okay. And our analysis of any Social Security program would look at those effects. So higher payroll taxes, for example, would mean lower take-home pay for workers, and that would affect workers' work effort, the labor supply. That, in turn, would affect the amount of income in the economy, and then the income generated by income taxes and payroll taxes. So that would affect the overall economy. There'd be many other effects, so we could do a full dynamic analysis. One other possible way that changes in taxes could affect the non-Social Security part of the budget would be if there's a transfer of revenue. So say there's a tax stream that now is going into general revenue. If that is, in some sense, moved into a trust fund instead, that would affect the overall budget as well. Or that would affect the non-Social Security part of the budget as well.
Dr. Swagel, the insolvency date on Social Security Trust Fund tends to get the most attention, but is that the only metric that Congress should look to gauge the program's financial health?
Yeah, I agree that gets the most attention, and we're very close on that with the actuaries. There's many other things you could look at. I mean, one would be the cash flow of the system. Say the primary deficit today of the system of the benefits paid against the revenues coming in, the non-interest revenues. Today, it's a deficit of about $145 billion. That's rising above $500 billion over the next 10 years. So that's resources that need to be generated by the Treasury elsewhere to pay those benefits. You could look at distributional impacts. We've heard a lot about that, and then about sustainability as well, which other witnesses have talked about as well.
Dr. Biggs, we all know that demographics is a key driver of Social Security growing deficits, but is it the only driver, or are there other factors contributing to rising Social Security costs. That's probably have to give a short answer because my time's out, but go ahead.
Sure, the rate of growth of the economy matters because that affects wages and the taxes that are paid. And also under current law, the real level of benefits, even adjusted for inflation, increases from year to year. That means that costs will also increase. Demographics are the big driver, but there are other factors there as well.
Okay. Thank you, Ms.